Oh, baby, 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 baby. Whew, my body's not ready for this. That's right, guys. In case you haven't heard, the Sony PlayStation Classic Edition has been announced. It's coming out December 3rd, and I am excited, although I do have some concerns. I will discuss those, but let me just take it in. Okay? Oh, my body's tingling right now. Tingling in all the right ways and in all the right places. Take that as you will. And hello! I am Bradley Overrated, and today, obviously, I am very excited to be discussing the Sony PlayStation Classic. It is a thing, it is happening. They have taken a page from Nintendo, and I think it is a good page to be taking. So before I discuss this, let me give you the specs, let me give you all the little details in case, you haven't seen the trailer or you haven't been watching and paying attention to the actual video that I just showed. That's probably going to get copyright strike now that I think about it. The Sony PlayStation Classic is going to be $100 and it will release December 3rd, 2018 this year. It will contain 20 games, and as of right now we only know 5 of the games. And those 5 games are Final Fantasy VII, surprising nobody, Tekken 3, Ridge Racer Type 4, Jumping Flash, and Wild Arms. So let's discuss first of all what I think about there being only 20 games. And I think it's an appropriate number. It makes a lot of sense in my head, but it's always disappointing. You always want 30 or 40 or 50 games, especially from the original PlayStation library. That library was, baby, it was a thing of beauty, man. It was so good. It was so good, and so it's always a little bit disappointing, although 20 is still a good number. The thing that always scares me a little bit, though, is the price tag. $100 is a lot of money to ask for 20 old games. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if you consider, like, Nintendo, for example, when they had the NES Classic launch for $60, the SNES Classic launched for $80. If Nintendo ever does do an N64 Classic, it will probably be for $100. So this move by Sony makes a lot of sense in terms of pricing, but it is still a good chunk of cash. So now let's talk about the games, okay? Because, you have a game like Final Fantasy VII, for example, and I don't know if I really care to have it on here. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, don't get me wrong, to put Final Fantasy VII. It was the iconic RPG for the original PlayStation. But when you have this available on the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4 and PC, and it's coming to Nintendo Switch, there's a lot of other options to be able to play this game. So I'm not excited for it. I just think it's appropriate and it makes sense. I'm more excited for a game like Wild Arms because that game, it was another really awesome game on the PlayStation. It's good to see it. Jumping Flash? I've never even heard of Jumping Flash. What's Jumping Flash? I feel really bad now. It's apparently one of the most iconic PlayStation games out of the 20 they chose. They chose a game I've never heard about. I've heard of all the other ones, but that was quite surprising. I mean, Tekken 3 makes a lot of sense. People love Tekken 3 on the PlayStation. Ridge Racer Type 4 was a good game, but I am surprised that Gran Turismo wasn't one of the ones originally mentioned. Maybe it will be, maybe it won't be. And yes, that was my phone going off. And I'm just gonna leave it in there because I bring the most highest of quality to my YouTube channel. Be sure to like and subscribe, by the way, if you haven't, because like I said, this is just top-notch quality. You can't beat it. Anyways, so let's talk about some of the games and what we think will not be on there. By we, I mean me, my opinion, blah blah blah. I don't think Crash Bandicoot's gonna be on there, obviously, because you can play Crash Bandicoot Trilogy completely remastered in all of its glory in HD on the PlayStation 4 now. Same can go for Spyro, that's coming out, the trilogy, same thing. Activision owns the licenses. I don't see that happening. And I don't see, unfortunately, any of the Resident Evil games coming here on the PlayStation Classic either, because of the exact same reasons. Why would you want to play the original? And by the way, the original is really different and it's really fun. You should play it, but why would you want to play that when you could play the HD one that's available on the PlayStation 4? And Resident Evil 2, for example, is also going to have an HD remaster coming out in January. So I don't see any of these games coming out I'm also very concerned about Silent Hill. I think that would be a really cool game. I love Silent Hill. It was terrifying during that time, but Konami is Konami. Is that a thing we can say? I don't know if any of the Konami games will make it. It's a gamble. I would expect to see one of them because they have so many iconic PlayStation games. Like Metal Gear Solid, for example, is another big one, or Castlevania on the PlayStation was just incredible. But I'm worried about that. I'm worried that Konami won't come through for us. But you know, they definitely could. I mean, Konami brought Castlevania for the SNES Classic, so you know, it could happen. And Square Enix, they have a lot of RPGs on the PlayStation, not just Final Fantasy games, but they have Chrono Cross, and I love Chrono Cross, man. That's the one I'm hoping I could see on here. I'm crossing my fingers for it, but they have that one. Vagrant Story, The Legend of Dragoon. I mean, there are a lot of Square Enix titles that could make it on here. I am definitely hoping to see another one or two of those because these games were all really fun and unique and inventive. Honestly, it was Square Enix's prime for RPGs, so I'm hoping to see another one or two of those to show up on this 20 list. And you know, like I said, there's a lot, I mean a freaking ton of awesome, iconic PlayStation games. Gran Turismo, Twisted Metal, Crazy Taxis, Hot Shots Golf, guys. I mean, Super Monkey Ball, I believe, was on there. There's a lot of them, so whatever they decide to do, I'm certain people will be excited and disappointed all at the same time. I'm hoping, though, out of all of these, you know, I just really want my Chrono Cross. Can I just say, like, just give me Chrono Cross. I want that game. I've missed it. It's one of my favorites. Alright guys, that's it for me. I would love to know what you guys think about the Sony Classic that is coming out in December. Do you think it's an awesome thing? Will you be picking it up on day one? Or are you going to just wait and see what games come out first because they've only announced the first 5 of them? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you want to check out my N64 Classic Predictions video, bam, look at that. I put it up here just for you guys. I finally, after almost a year, figured out how to do these clickable button things at the end of my videos. Yeah, I'm really tech savvy here. Anyways, I'm Bradley Overrated, guys. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I'll see you guys on the next one that I do. Have a great day. I'm out like a trout.